Right now, somewhere beneath a mountain outside the Iranian city of Qom, centrifuges are spinning. Not slowing down, not stopping, spinning. Enriching uranium to 60% purity, one technical step away from weapons grade, inside a facility buried so deep underground that the United States military has spent 20 years and billions of dollars trying to figure out how to destroy it and has not yet found a reliable answer. The entire war with Iran had one stated purpose: stop the nuclear program. That was the reason given for the strikes. That was the condition Iran was supposed to meet before any ceasefire held. That was the line Trump drew publicly, repeatedly, in terms that left no room for ambiguity. And the facility where Iran keeps the part of its nuclear program that matters most is still intact, still operating, still unreachable. By the end of this video, you will fully understand exactly why the most important military target in this entire war is the one American bombs cannot destroy. Why Iran built it that way on purpose 20 years ago after watching what happened to every country that kept its weapons program above ground. Why the only aircraft that can carry the weapon designed for this job has a flaw that makes the mission nearly impossible. And why the single most important question of this war: did America actually stop the nuclear program? May have an answer that no one in Washington is saying out loud. Let us start with what Fordo actually is. Because most people who follow this war have heard the name, but have never understood why it is different from every other target the United States has destroyed over the past 6 weeks. Fordo is not a building. It is not a complex of buildings you can flatten with enough bombs. Fordo is a tunnel system carved into the rock of a mountain. The main enrichment hall sits approximately 80 to 90 meters below the surface. Not 80 to 90 meters of soft earth. 80 to 90 meters of hard mountain rock, reinforced with concrete, with blast doors, with redundant tunnel systems designed to survive anything that falls from the sky. To understand what 80 meters of rock actually means, picture a 25-story office building lying on its side. Now imagine trying to punch a bomb through the entire length of it, through solid stone, while it is moving at the speed of sound. That is the engineering problem Fordo was designed to create. Iran did not choose this location by accident. In 1981, the Israeli Air Force destroyed Iraq's Osirak nuclear reactor in a single airstrike. The reactor was above ground. It was gone in minutes. Every government in the Middle East with nuclear ambitions watched that strike and drew the same conclusion. If you want to keep a nuclear program, you put it where planes cannot reach it. Iran started digging Fordo shortly after watching what happened to Iraq's above-ground facilities in the Gulf War of 1991. The facility was secretly constructed for years before Western intelligence agencies even knew it existed. The United States discovered it in 2009 only because Iranian opposition groups leaked its existence. By the time the world found out Fordo was real, it was already operational and already buried. Now here is where it gets really interesting. The United States military recognized this problem before this war began. The Pentagon spent over $1 billion developing a specific weapon designed for exactly this situation. It is called the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator. The name is not subtle. It is a bomb that weighs 30,000 pounds, more than some small aircraft. It is not dropped. It is essentially aimed like a dart at a specific point in the earth and allowed to fall, using its own weight and velocity to drill through rock before detonating. The GBU-57 can penetrate approximately 60 meters of earth before exploding. Fordo's main enrichment hall is 80 to 90 meters down. That gap, 20 to 30 meters of rock sitting between the deepest American bomb and the most important nuclear facility on Earth, is the number that American defense planners do not say publicly. The weapon built to solve this problem cannot quite reach the problem. Think about what that means. The United States spent $1 billion and years of development building the most powerful conventional bunker-penetrating weapon in human history, and it may fall 20 meters short of the target it was specifically designed to destroy. There is another angle that almost nobody is discussing. Even if the GBU-57 could reach Fordo, only one aircraft in the world can carry it. the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. There are 20 B-2s in existence. 20, the entire global supply of aircraft capable of delivering the only bomb that could reach Fordow, fits in a single hangar. Each one costs over $2 billion. Each one requires 50 hours of maintenance for every hour of flight. A B-2 mission to Iran, flying from the continental United States or from Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, would require in-flight refueling, precise routing through contested airspace, and a strike window measured in seconds against a target that Iran has had 20 years to harden against exactly this scenario. And then there is the deeper problem that no amount of money or engineering can solve. Even if a B-2 carried a GBU-57 to Fordow and put it through the mountain at exactly the right angle and at exactly the right depth, and the explosion destroyed every centrifuge in the facility, the knowledge does not go away. The Iranian scientists who built those centrifuges are not in the mountain, they are in Tehran, they are at universities, they have the designs, they have the materials lists, they have the institutional memory of everything inside Fordow stored in human minds that no bomb can erase. North Korea's nuclear facilities have been bombed and sanctioned and strangled for 30 years. North Korea has nuclear weapons. The knowledge, once acquired, cannot be unacquired. This is the part of the Iran war that the entire Western policy conversation refuses to state plainly. Military force can destroy hardware. It cannot destroy knowledge, and Iran's nuclear program has passed the knowledge threshold. The scientists who can rebuild Fordow are alive. The blueprints exist. The enriched uranium stockpile, partially dispersed to other facilities before the strikes began, has not been accounted for in full. Now stop and think about what that means in practical terms. The blockade is squeezing Iran's economy. The navy is destroyed. The supreme leader is dead. The missile program has been degraded. Every conventional military asset Iran had above ground is gone or severely damaged. By every traditional measure of military success, this war has gone better for the United States than almost anyone predicted. And the one thing the war was supposedly fought to stop may be more survivable than it was before the first Tomahawk launched. Here is why. Before this war, Fordow was a clandestine facility Iran could never publicly acknowledge using for enrichment beyond civilian levels without triggering global isolation. Today, after a direct military confrontation with the United States, Iran has nothing left to lose from that isolation. The diplomatic constraints that limited how fast and how openly Iran could push its nuclear program no longer exist in the same form. The ceasefire does not include a verified freeze on enrichment. The negotiations in Islamabad collapsed. There is no inspector at Fordow right now. There is no satellite that can see through 90 meters of mountain. There is no agreement that has been signed. The centrifuges are spinning. Now here is where this starts affecting people who have not followed a single day of this war and never intend to. A nuclear-armed Iran is not a theoretical concept for future generations to worry about. The United States intelligence community estimated before this war that Iran was within weeks to months of having enough enriched material for a weapon if it made the political decision to complete the process. That estimate was made before the war removed the political constraints that had previously kept Iran cautious. A country that has nothing left to lose, whose supreme leader is dead, whose military is shattered, whose economy is being strangled, is not more likely to slow its nuclear program. It is less likely. The single most destabilizing event in the Middle East in the next 12 months is not another naval battle in the Strait of Hormuz. It is Iran deciding that the only deterrent it has left is the one that sits in the mountain. And the most powerful military on Earth does not currently have a reliable conventional option to stop it. This is where the conversation fundamentally changes. Every video in this series has shown you a version of the same paradox. The most expensive military ever built keeps running into problems that expensive military equipment cannot solve. Mines that cost less than a motorcycle, internet cables thinner than a garden hose, fast boats that cost less than a family car, and now, a tunnel that goes 20 meters deeper than the deepest bomb the United States can drop. The weapons that matter most in this conflict are not aircraft carriers or stealth bombers or precision-guided missiles. They are physics. the physics of how deep rock stops explosions, the physics of how tidal currents move mines, the physics of how light travels through fiber optic glass. Iran did not build its deterrence against American technology. It built its deterrence against American physics, and physics does not negotiate. So here is the question that matters. The United States spent over $200 billion destroying everything in Iran that could be seen from the air. 2 carrier strike groups are still in the Gulf. The blockade is still running. The mines are still on the seafloor. And 80 meters underground, the centrifuges are still spinning. Did the United States win this war, or did Iran lose everything above ground while quietly protecting the one thing that will determine who actually won? One side says the economic pressure of the blockade will force Iran to the table and a verified nuclear freeze before the regime collapses. The other side says a regime with nothing left to lose and centrifuges still running has already made the calculation that the bomb is the only card it has left. Write which side you are on in the comments, because the people who say American pressure finishes this and the people who say Iran just decided to go all the way are about to have the most important argument on this channel. And if you have not seen our video on why Iran cannot find its own mines, the reason the Strait of Hormuz is still closed months after the shooting stopped, make sure to watch that one next.